Let's do this. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's real and what's not real? What is truly harmonious and what is faking harmony for the sake of harmony? To some of us, that is absolutely no question at all. Like, do I want to say I envy those people? A little bit. And in the contemplation of that topic, I feel a lot of, I feel a kind of anger activating in my body, particularly in my upper arms and my outer shoulders, where I have stored memories of creating harmony in defense, in protection, and yeah, at a certain price, a price at the time worth paying, clearly, and now begs to be reprogrammed. Begs to be reprogrammed. Good morning, beautiful people. Oh yeah. All my life, I've been asked by people frequently in the morning, like, oh, it's 8 in the morning. Do you have to, like, can we have coffee before we go this deep, or blah 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 blah? Do you always dive this deep, this quickly, this easily? And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? This is the ground floor. Deep what? Let's go deep. I mean, what's the point? Sometimes I feel like one of those creatures that live at the bottom of the ocean that humans never see. There are these kind of very large creatures. I cannot really call them fish. They look very strange, and I think we only have very few images of them. They seem to be very ancient. I think they're about white, because they just don't ever like really get up to the sunlight. Images we have for ourselves. I'm prone to fishy images because I'm Pisces. I am identified. A friend of mine told me recently there's another kind of astrological, Western astrological interpretive system. It's called something else, starts with an S. And according to that system, I would be Aquarius. Well, I did a 360. No, I did 180 when I found out my Maya sign, because I had always been identified with moon, darkness, water. And suddenly I'm supposed to be like sun, fire, masculine. Yeah. Light. Divine duality. And I am dragon born. What kind of dragon? That would interest me. Is there... What is going on? Okay, no time for that. Not going to do that now. Anyhow, yellow planetary star. I am looking at the time. How about, Tatiana, we set a challenge. When that long arm hits number 4, we stop. Planetary star. Planetary star. I usually think of the star, if you look at the cliff, you see these 4 circles, each with a dot in the middle. And I always think of them, to me it's always like I'm looking at cell structures, a harmoniously coexisting cell with its nucleus. Each is an individual with its individual inner and outer, and each, if you zoomed into that smaller circle, you would find a circle in it. If you zoom in there, you'd find a circle in it. It's always an egg, an egg, an egg, an egg, an egg. It's the egg that produces the egg. It's the egg that is the mother. It just produces a body for itself. It produces a new container for itself. Don't take my word for it. This harmonious, the star in the original, in its first show, its first position, when we first meet it in the wave spell of the mother, red dragon, it's position 8. And let me go here. Hello. Here, this is not where we are today, but position 8, harmonized model integrity. And the star is elegance, beauty, art. Often all of the seals, the first time around, the first 13 in any case, also have assigned to them, to the seal itself, an element of the meaning of that first tone. So the harmony of the star, or the harmony of tone 8, the first time we meet the star, is always linked with that sign in the way that where it's really obvious is with the world bridger. The world bridger shows up first time on tone 6, and there's the organized balance, equality, and world bridger represents death, equalize, opportunity. So we both, if we have equality and equalize, it's not always this obvious, but it's worth noting. So this glyph as also represents like an opening in between the cells. There is the physiological world, the seeable, the writable, the notable, the noticeable, the knowable, and then there is something in between. There is something that fills the space in between. And no matter what all that is, we get to fill in the blanks. There's a harmony between things. The cosmos, the universe, the antipode of the star is the mirror. Endlessness reflect order. And this order, the elegance, the elegant order of nature, of the cosmos, of whatever's happening on the atomic levels, that is the nature of reality. I wanted to say that it's the point of departure. I'm going to quote Cryon again, who says, peace on earth. And he says we're absolutely getting there. It's up to us how long that takes. But when we get there, he says that's not any kind of end goal. That is the beginning. Until you've reached that, you're nowhere. You're not even, I would say, we're not even an embryo yet. We haven't even begun being human. We're still forming. We are not yet at the yellow star stage. globally as humanity. We are not at the yellow star stage, we're not at the yellow human stage, we are, where would we be hovering around? Maybe the serpent, seed, serpent, and death, somewhere around there. Many of us are getting to the healing hand, we're healing, and then we'll get to the harmony, the art of life, the artisticness of the beauty of who we are, individually and collectively. And then we will take off from there, eventually becoming human, just because we're already embodying the form, inhabiting the form. We have not yet begun to utilize its functions. We are utilizing its functions, but like, how can I say? I will quote Cryon again. He says, you are like a jet airplane, and you're cruising up and down the runway at 30 kilometers per hour, and you're so proud of it. You're so proud of it. You haven't got a clue who you are, and you haven't got a clue of what you can do. So, who are we? And what can we do as humans? And if peace on earth is the beginning, it's the launching pad, like the yellow star is said to be the higher octave of just baseline functioning, surviving, get it all to work and self-sustain. It seems to me sometimes, this is a wild thought, excuse, that a human can, I don't know if a human being can live and exist and function, walking, talking, working, relatively soulless, let's say, simply because it is like a machine, like a biological machine that knows itself. The machine itself knows all its basic functionings. The cells know how to keep the body alive, and that in itself is driver enough to inform the mind, like, I need to do something in this environment I'm living in to survive. So I need to feed myself. That's enough. There's like, it seems to me like that could be enough. And for some people seem to live on that level. There's no striving for a higher meaning or for truths or any. And I'm not judging that. It's just, I wonder how much, what was the soul itself? What would soul, I mean, nothing can be, in my books also, without soul. Soul is in everything. What is everything anyway? Nothing is out there. So everything is source, energy. Must be, in one or other form, conscious or not, whatever we define consciousness as. What's practical? What's practical? To be harmonious within ourselves, with our inner selves and our inner selves, and then our environment, and then our choices. I am exploring the disharmony. I am currently coming out of that, and I realize that, to me personally, I think I'm in the last few days of the spectral serpent. That's just unmistakably so. This serpent is like tooth and nail, wanting to liberate me from what no longer serves. And I mean, I've been setting that intention, also tooth and nail. But there are like these programs in there that are also tooth and nailing, like no, 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 no. But yeah, whatever. So yellow star, where are we? We're on one now. I have about 15 minutes left. Let's see. We need to be here. We're guided by the warrior. Fearlessness, question intelligence, and we are in the wave spell of the blue storm. Generate not equalize. Oh, brain, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're in the wave spell of the blue storm, and we're on the planetary tone, produce, manifest, perfect. Should I do something for fun? Read us just through all the tones of the wave spell in succession. Unify, attract, purpose. Blue storm. Auto, self-generate, catalyze energy. That's what we're unifying, attracting, and the purpose of in the whole wave spell. This purpose, what is the purpose? We may know it already at the onset, on day one, otherwise it's going to reveal itself. Then we're polarizing, stabilizing, challenging. Then we're activating, bonding, and serving ourselves and others. Depends where we are in our own evolution. But service to self, it sounds more realistic when I say should always be service to other. I believe it always is. It cannot be otherwise. No matter how heinous our acts, it will serve the greater good, because as a humanity, we need to explore all our aspects, whether we understand that or not. Define, measure, form is on tone 4. We have tone 4 today in the occult. Defining, measuring, form in the wave spell of love. Once we've defined, measured, formed, we empower, command, and radiate. The purpose, it radiates itself. In this particular case, it's a blue night. Oh man, I feel like. Then we organize and balance our seed potential, either our earth or our seed potential, probably both. We're always heading for the planetary tone, the full expression of the purpose, and we're heading for every tone, but like really cornerstones are tone 10, where it's the planetary, since we're all about expressing, right? We're also heading for tone 9, which is the intention, and we're heading for tone 13, which is to transcend, and that's the blue monkey. Always to remember that. The seed potential in auto-generation to be the freest inner child, the freest human, first a free child. Human is the next wave spell. We're also heading for that. Which has in turn the cosmic seed. Anyhow, then we are resonant, channel, inspire, attune, life force in auto-generation. Then we're dying, harmonizing, modeling, integrity. Then we are healing, pulse realizing, intention on tone 9. And then we're beautifying, perfect, produce, manifest. Make the world a better place. Leave any space more beautiful than you found it. Leave, give always a little more than what's expected or what's bargained for. Hence the tipping system in a restaurant. I mean, of course, yeah, whatever. There's a lot to be said about that, but like that, whenever we buy something, whenever we pay for something, to give a little extra. Whenever something is bought of us, give a little extra. When an exchange happens, give a little extra. Not because you want to get something in return, then you're not giving, then you're actually taking. But if you genuinely give, everything you give the universe is always given to yourself. The healing we give, the love we give, we send out, the light we send. Send light to your worst enemy. Send light to those troubled places. Send light to those who are instigating some of these, send light to everyone on the Epstein list. Send light to everyone who's throwing bombs at anyone. Not with an attachment of it must be used for X or Y or Z, but just send light. Let the system use the light to its own benefit. It's not for us to know or to decide what that is. It's not for us to know what all the souls involved in those processes, in those happenings, what their contracts are or were. We do not know. We can just bless. That's all we can do. And any blessing, let every breath be a blessing. Let every thought be a blessing. Note to self. Note to self, I have spent a considerable amount of energy on resentment. Surely I've explored resentment and how sick it can make us. It's the opposite of the blue hand. Whew. And then we're going tomorrow for the spectral moon. Dissolve, release, and liberate. We resolve, release, and liberate tomorrow what stands in our way of today. Tomorrow we release what stands in the way of today, because only today we realize or we can know what that is. Is our manifestation working? Are we perfecting? If not, tomorrow that can be released. That means in the so-called future. It also means to release everything we've built, everything we've perfected, produced and manifested gets returned back to source, not to hold on to anything. Let it go. When it's served its purpose, it needs to be let go. And one of the reasons when we hold on beyond the served purpose, because we are afraid of letting go for some reason. Maybe we're afraid a new thing isn't going to come. Maybe we believe this was the best ever, nothing better can come, so I better hold on. And what is these things we hold on? Memories, past experiences, grievances. I myself am really, I've got a few places where I'm just not moving on because it hasn't been resolved. It's like a lingering chord, and I keep striking that chord because a part of me wants to hear that chord. A part of me wants to ache. It wants to feel its anger, because this is the story I tell myself. It may not be true, but there's been, in my formative years, anger was a no-go. When I reached my 20s, I was like, I don't know how to be angry. It's now hard for me to remember, but I remember that I used to sit there and like, how does anger go? I don't know how to be angry. And I thought that was really strange. And it took me another 20 years to realize the suppression, how deep it went. And that by that time, I was starting to crack. And in the cracks, the anger flared out completely unreasonably, in like the way a dragon spits fire. And then it would be so awful. And I know, I recognize the pattern, because I love you, Mom, but it's my mom's pattern. It's like now we're in a space where we can talk about it. And I mean, it's been a few years of progress and healing and walking this path together. And then she sees me like that. And she's like, oh yeah, well, I know where you got that from. And it's like, yeah, mirror, mirror on the wall. And my mom, bless her, she's a Leo. But there's a lot of repression of her Leo energy. And when that Leo energy repressed comes out, it's not pretty. It's really not pretty. And I have only compassion for her. It's only love. And my water and her fire are like, lol. And I'm water, but when my water catches fire, like, you don't want to be close to that. And I don't want to be close to that. I still repress my own fire to a very large degree. And it's like I can sort of see myself in balance. But when I move there slowly, as I am doing, every step I take in the direction of that balance gets met with enormous amounts of fear. Because this light in me, fully radiant, fully balanced, that level of self-confidence, that level of wisdom and insight, and that level of whatever, judgment, just hold your fucking breath. That level is, to me, and part of the collective or my own Akashic memories, really scary because of the prices we have paid as women, as wisdom keepers, as nurturers of humanity through this dark age of burning, of turning lies into truth, of usurping power over humanity virtually globally. The last wisdom keepers got pressed deep, deep, deep into the jungles, deep into the deserts of this world, deep into isolated places, and they've kept the wisdom. In many ways, they've become so isolated that that isolation in itself became threatening to the wisdom. So now the seeds are cracking open. I think we've just left the seed moon. We're still in a yellow seed year. Wherever we are in the grander cycles, we are now, thanks to the internet, thanks to the time we are in, we have a universally global coming out. It's all the dirt is being, the light is pouring onto this planet. And gradually, we are forced collectively to look at the mess. And in my eyes, I'm not going to make it. 3 minutes left. Why was I born into the German culture? To understand deeply collective trauma, to understand what happens when you do not deal with the collective trauma at all, nor with individual trauma. This is a culture that is collectively and individually, we are the masters. We're not the only ones, I don't lay claim to that, but in recent history, yeah, so we may not repeat that ad infinitum, but eventually the truth always prevails because it cannot be destroyed. It cannot. They can try all they want and they can get very far, and they have. We have. Tatiana, I hate this they talk. I hate it. I hate hating. I hate people who hate. Who said that? I remember Madonna going on about that. I don't know if it's in one of her songs. Anyway, no, we gotta love it and open our eyes to our humanity, to what we're capable of, each one of us, to what we've done to ourselves, to what we do to ourselves on a daily, in whatever way, shape, or form. And if we're already on the light side, we are kind with ourselves and kind with others, and there's nothing but compassion. If we are still shaking fists at the injustices, we need to still look at ourselves as well, and develop our Christ consciousness, indeed, whatever that means. And we need to figure that out for ourselves. Yeah, humanity. Okay, yellow star, harmony. Where have I gone? So for me, have I come full circle, exploring this, exploring that, doing it time and time and time again, and understanding if I just want to ignore the dark and go away from it and only choose the light and only want to live in happiness and joy, until I fully integrated my full humanity, which means I'm not just only good. I am or capable of, let's put it that way, in my potentials. All capabilities are a part of me. I am capable of killing, of hating, and I know this. I know this for a fact, not because I've done it, but because I have access to that. I have absolute access to that, and I know it, how I can feel it. It's like I can feel it in a way I remember, as if I know I have some or other access to memory, what it's like to kill and be mortified, or to kill and to be feeling nothing, stone cold. And we all have that. That is part of humanity. It's part of our collective ability. And we don't need to judge that. We just need to know these are abilities we need to be able to use appropriately. All right. So, Yellow Star, in this auto-generation wave spell, we are exploring, what are we exploring? Wakefully. The Skywalker on tone 4. Measure, define, form. Form, define, measure. Form, measure, define, whatever. One is a power, one is an action, and one is the essence. Let's look at the essence. The essence is the bottom. And in this case, the essence is wakefulness. The action is to explore, and the power is space. We need to look at the other musketeers around the Skywalker to fully grasp what spaces he's exploring wakefully, and to wake up. We call it, why do we call it waking up? And in this Skywalker serves love, because he's the measure and defining position of the wave spell of the white dog. So how have we defined love? How have we measured? How do we measure? How have we formed in the past? How have we explored love that defines and measures and forms it today and adds to our harmony and our beauty? Are we or aren't we? Where are we and where aren't we? Why do for me, my story is always, light is a given. Oh, fuck, yeah. I'm always kind of exploring the shadow to keep balanced. Where have I hurt my love? Where have I defined it through limitation? And I have to say even though another human may have a rendezvous in my life with another human, whether that is my father, my brother, my mother, my sister, my lover, my friend, my dog, my dream, my desire, my anything. I rendezvous with an experience, and it always defines my relationship with love, which defines my relationship with myself, which defines my relationship with the divine. If, as I do, I define the divine as love, the universe as love made manifest, the manifest universe. I should now look up the self-existing dog. Very quickly in my mind. It is a white wave spell. There's a 5 death, so it is the wave spell of the blue hand. We've already had it. Healing, knowing, accomplishment. Go figure. I mean, that's just beautiful. And it itself sits as the occult. That wave spell is the occult wave spell. There's the Skywalker on tone 10, the planetary Skywalker. Gosh, the planetary. Where do I want to go? To the planetary dog. It sits underneath the planetary, the self-existing dog. What am I doing? Why am I going there? Thinking too much. But I do want to know now. Do I want to know now? Have I already changed the question? I lost my train of thought. Self-existing dog is in the wave spell of the blue hand. It is the occult wave spell of... I should know. I cannot believe that I don't know off by heart like this. The dog, my own antipode. Ugh. Blue monkey. That would be the planetary monkey. Give me a break. That planetary monkey is in the wave swell of the blue night. Night hand monkey. I gotta vilify that. Verify that. Is that correct what I'm saying? That's the planetary dog. Can we switch this? What am I doing? Planetary dog? Yeah, monkey. No, but what am I doing? Planetary monkey. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. It's the wave spell of the wind. All right, a little aside. Note to self, breath, breathe, breathe, breathe. Planetary monkey with the self-existing dog underneath. And it has the star in the analog, the planetary star in the analog. Oh, here we're coming full circle. If I just let my mind run, it does it by itself. Oh, this is just beautiful to me. That's like, oh, are we guided by intelligence today? Oh, sorry, there's a little Selbstbeweihräucherung, as we say in German. I don't have a word for that in English. Should I look it up? No, never mind. Ego stroking, I'd say. But that's very beautiful. That monkey is guided by the storm, the planetary monkey. The planetary monkey, yes, who is today in the analog position, is guided by the storm again. And the monkey, I never can overemphasize that. I never can underemphasize that. I can never overemphasize that. The importance. I mean, of course, in this wave spell, it's the transcendent tone. And whatever this monkey becomes or is becoming, it's attached to being, the antipode, but being nurturing. So always being and becoming. Being is always becoming, but it's always now. There is no future. It's always now. We are becoming now. We can place an eagle vision into who do we want to become. We can hold that vision and see. But whatever we have wanted to become in the past, that is the trajectory we're on. So if I'm now radically departing from that, I have to invest a good amount of energy, blue storm, to build the new trajectory. And this is exactly what I'm experiencing. I've exactly talked about this whole wave spell. How much energy do I have to invest? I can quantum jump. How much energy does it take? I can spontaneously heal. I can do a spontaneous remission. How much energy does that take? How much focus does that take? Cryon says it takes pure intent. That's a second. In the quantum field, that's no energy at all. Quantum energy, I mean, we got to get there as humans. Quantum energy, hello? It's like a no-brainer. And we have it. The technology exists, so it's just being blocked. All of which needs to be released with love. In ourselves and in the collective. That's why the love wave spell is the occult. It's the medicine to all of the nonsense we're doing on this planet, keeping ourselves small, keeping people in poverty, bombing places, hurting each other, hurting ourselves, all the meanness, all the mean little thoughts we're thinking all day long, some of us. All of this hurtness, yes, honor it. We should build a big fat monument to it, to say this is what we did, not in judgment and condemnation, but in honor, because the humanity that went through this darkness is us. And we gotta meet it with compassion. That's the only way to heal. That's the only way to give it its rightful place. It's not to be condemned. It's to be honored, because it is who we are. It is showing us who we are. I'm sorry, I gotta just go on about that. And something tells me, like, I want to stand on speaker's corner. I want to, like, this to me is so paramount. It's so important that we honor, that we do exactly the opposite. We do exactly what Jesus said, and the opposite of what the church says or did. Like, I believe, like, this is going to sound really strange, and on some level it's not true what I'm saying. But what I want to say is, honor the devil, because he's a good guy. This doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. But until we get there where that makes sense, where we can honestly release that and honestly say, we have been there, done that, we no longer need that, but we definitely needed that, because without that experience, we do not fully know, we cannot fully be the human that we are without those experiences. And whether we made them in a simulation, whether we made them in reality, we are going to wake up and understand it, the dream time. When we're still dreaming, it's real. And there's certain things that we cannot say to the dreamer about reality, because the dreamer, when we live in different realities, certain things you cannot talk about. It cannot be understood, but it can be dramatically misunderstood. So when I'm saying to embody to the fear that I meet in embodying myself is possibly related to is it a lack of wisdom at the time? I always ask myself, in all those times where some religion forced people of another religion to either convert to their religion or die, or be tortured to death, like something awful, I ask myself, is it honorable for those people to say, I am sticking to my truth. I am sticking to my faith, and we're not talking about something small. I am honoring my faith, and you will do to me what you will do to me. I will not bend to your will because you say so. And therefore lose their life and their place in the community and all that that causes. What would wisdom say? Or would it be, okay, not I convert. What would it be? Would it be I convert, I'm going to find my faith in your faith? Because the truth can be found everywhere. I will explore your faith. Or do I say, I will convert and I will learn how to pretend? But when you have a faith like, for example, Judaism, being forced to convert to Christianity, Judaism has a lot of things that they do that they would have to do behind closed doors, or they would be very difficult to hide, because it's not just an internal faith. It's an externally manifest, stuff that they do and things that they wear and da 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 da. So it becomes very difficult. And it's like, yeah, I've never been able to answer that for myself. What would I do? What would my choice be? And surely I would say I've explored both options, or all options, and seen where that leads me. And now I'm at a place where it's like, what drives a human to force convert another? How utterly misguided in your own faith. And I can believe people genuinely believe they did it out of faith. They genuinely believe this is the way to serve God. This is the way to get good points with God. Kill the non-believers. We probably still have people on the planet today who believe that. Genuinely. Not, I'm faking my religious faith because I just want to have power. There are those as well. But it's like, in my books, that's genuinely misguided. But that is a genuine part of our humanity and needs to be genuinely met with compassion. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely meeting it with a lot of judgment right now. But to me, compassion, I can be compassionate toward everything and anything. That's like no problem for me. But I also am a jewel. I also have the duality within me, where there are the parts of me that aren't compassionate. I wouldn't right now identify with them. They are them. They're not me, it's them. Yeah, man. Did I say some time ago in one of my episodes, let's say it's been a real intention of mine to want to consciously have control over this psychological thing where we splitting off, the dissociating, splitting. I used to always semi-jokingly say, I don't suffer from, I have. I used to say, I have multiple personality order. It's not a disorder, it's order. They're there. It's like, yeah, I have multiple personalities. It's a big deal. Who doesn't? Like, whatever that means. It's not, like, am I dysfunctional because of it? To some degree, some of them are not functioning properly as far as I'm concerned. As far as they're concerned, they're functioning absolutely properly. They all have a function. And mostly they function harmoniously together. Planetary Star. They are each auto-generating themselves. They are each auto-generating me. I'm still here. And at the moment, my spectral serpent is saying, we are shaking loose what no longer serves you and your limiting beliefs. And it's no coincidence that happens in the stormwave spell, and that my next year is a full-on year in the bloody stormwave spell. Like, I can probably go on making a video, and maybe I should do that for myself, every day about the full storm from the perspective of the crystal dog. And we are getting there in 2 days. What's my birthday present to myself? A fucking 3-hour episode. Yeah, do I think too much? I don't know, I love this. I love this shit. This gets me going, this gets me flowing. Here's my saliva. Like, this is delicious to me. This is feeding me. This is fun to me. And every now and then I ignite someone and into this dream spell. There's now, 3 years later, a friend of mine, a second person. We don't talk an awful lot, but he is a spectral son. And whatever he has to say, if it's just one sentence, I'm like, oh, it just lights me up. Like, I'm like, oh my God, give me more. It's just a cosmology that makes so much sense. Anyway, this planetary star. What else? Who else do we have here now? Quickly, the monkey in the analog wave spell. Now, oh God, that planetary monkey is the analog wave spell of the yellow sun, which is going to accompany me for a whole year. I'm in the storm, so I'm analog. Who else have I been in the storm wave spell in my life? The serpent, this resonant serpent, and the lunar sun, a year each. So I've spent 2 years of my life in the wave spell of the storm with that analog wave spell, and I'm going to find out which ones they are and make a little connection to myself in those years. Because this auto-generation lunar sun, if I want to live, if I get to fucking choose, yellow human, if I get to choose, and I get to choose, and karma has for the longest time made us learn to face the consequences of our choices, to be fully autonomous, to be fully human, to be fully able to choose. You need that wisdom. It just goes hand in hand. If I can choose, and I do choose, and I have, and I am always, we are always everything. Everything is now, so we can fully choose who we choose to be, how we choose to express. There's a lot of my life that I would live over. There's a lot of my life that I would live again. And maybe I am and am and am and am. I do well to say, to choose which aspects not again. Which lovers would I not want to love again? There are a few. I can totally do without those. Those that I wouldn't want to do without, because those experiences were really worth it, came with a lot of heartbreak. So would I want to have all that heartbreak again? Couldn't entirely say no with full conviction, but I would like to just have the pure heartbreak, no resentment. Not the resentment. Resentment is really like an ugly thing. Resentment is not fun. Resentment lingers. Resentment is like you haven't fully grieved, you haven't fully maybe loved, you haven't fully healed. Resentment is a niggly. So gotta learn something there still. This current version hasn't fully integrated. There's resentments. It's not resentment, but there's unhealed wounds in me that are still active, like active volcanoes. They're not really spewing, but they're rumbling, and they're like, for me to repress those, it's just taking too much energy. But I'm scared to let them let rip. But I should. And I'm going to find a way to see what that does. And trust myself in the process. I have to trust myself if I'm going for that. So, this year in the storm is going to be very interesting. We carry on exploring the spin. Today, the planetary star is guided by fearlessness. So, fearlessness, questioning intelligence. And it's guided by the wave spell of the warrior. The guidekins don't progress from day to day to day to day in the sequence of the 20 seals. All other kins do, backwards or forwards, but they're always going to the next kin, either the one before or the one after. The guides jump by 13. So today's guide is the warrior. Tomorrow's guide is the next wave spell that follows the warrior wave spell. Then that's tomorrow's guide. And then the day after is the next wave spell. It jumps the sequence of 13. So if you really want to speed up a process, you can just go with the guides. You're fast tracking yourself. I'm telling you, if you want to jump to the past, go with the occult. If you want to jump, this thing is teaching me of itself. And in doing this podcast, I haven't listened back to my own episodes in a while, even though I always think like, oh, I really should, but I don't. And it's fear that's stopping me from listening back. Because every now and then judgment pops its head up and it's like, I don't want it. I really don't want it. And I don't want to go into whatever. Anyway, so this planetary star, and to me it's really important that I explore this wave spell so deeply because I'm going to be in it for a whole year. And the planetary star is going to accompany me for a whole year. And it is this planetary monkey, the child, the expression of the child harmoniously will be that transcendent monkey on tone 13. That's what endures. And I got to be really, I don't know how much intention I have to set or how much it just happens automatically. I don't want to put any stress. The minute I put stress into it, it's like I have to. No, I get to reveal and unfold, develop, unfold myself. Be witness to my own unfolding in whichever direction I unfold, even if it's an unraveling. So, saying, letting go. Gotta really internalize this whisper. And auto-generate the inner child, the eternal egg, the hermit, the fool, the universe, and then some. Interesting. Forming entirely new paradigms. Forming entirely new paradigms that check out. Not that check out. I mean, reality checks out. By that I mean This is true. It works. I spoke about this yesterday, I think. This reality, what we call commonly reality, not what I metaphysically call everything is reality. I mean, this 3D reality, which is also multi-D, but also 3D. Let's just be here. um, it's a dream come true, or a nightmare come true, or a blend of both. This is duality. Everything in existence was once dreamed by something. Everything in existence is what was wanted, what is wanted. It is desire made manifest. It is life desiring itself and bringing itself into form, tone 4 and tone 10. That's why they're linked. And this planetary star, the art, the beauty of it, the beauty of ourselves, our own harmony, our own harmonious working, the way our bodies work harmoniously, or not, gotta look at it, what's auto-generating itself, which pain, which illness is auto-generating itself, is keeping going, what keeps itself going and why. These are questions to ask. And there are answers. They are waiting. When the question comes, it means the answer is just knocking on the door. The knock is the question. Why do I have this? Why do I suffer this thing? It's because that's the knock on the door. Open the door. The answer wants to be found. The solution is here for you. The parts have assembled or are assembling. It may be that but that behind the door is another question. Be patient. Follow the question. Yellow warrior, question fearlessly. Follow. There are certain questions in the last years I have said, I can't ask myself this question. I know that I need to, but I can't because I'm scared. I'm absolutely mortified of the answers. And I'm mortified of what I will do to myself in trying to avoid the answer. So please, if I try to ask it prematurely, my walls will just strengthen and it will make my asking of that question harder and harder and harder. So I need to do something first. I need to strengthen other aspects of myself first that can then hold and stand and be present with me when I start asking those questions, that I can then not fall into a deep abyss or whatever, like these are processes and they work. And I'm doing it. I'm ready now to ask those questions more and more so. I'm slowly, slowly, slowly opening the door to myself, to asking those questions and trusting my intelligence, trusting the systems that I am building to hold. And I put a little toe on it and a little bit of weight and a little bit of weight. And if it cracks, it's like, okay, wait, it's not strong enough. I can feel it wants to crack. I'm not going to let it crack because then I got to start over. I learned that. It's like, okay, this is not supporting my full weight. Wait. Let it grow if it needs to grow by itself, or add strength. Just be present and rhythmic. And this star, I'm going, oh man, I'm an hour. But this is important, to me at least. So the star with this, the storm and the love, the auto-generation and the love, the healer yesterday, the solar healer, the solar healing process, pulse, realize, intention, to become this planetary star. Tone, incidentally, we are moving, when we move forward in time, we're simultaneously moving backward in time, because yesterday, underneath that solar hand was the overtone wizard, which is one tone further from the self-existing skywalker, if we were traveling linearly around. But the occult, we're going backwards in time, because we've started at the transcendent tone. We've started at what is. The white wind is what is. That's what we're transcending. That's how love has formed itself. Whether it's been hurt love or whatever we've made of the love, whatever the white dog has formed us into, whatever this planetary star today, we can change it, but we can first, before we can change it, we gotta know, well, what are we wanting to change? And if there's a problem or a situation or something we want to change or manifest, if we want to manifest something new, well, we understand how we auto-generate, we understand the transformation wave spell, we understand the wave spell of blue hand, depends what you want to do. Any wave spell will teach you something. In this case, we're learning about auto-generation. And if there's an illness or not a good situation, what has auto-generated it? What's kept it going? How come we're now finding out evils on the planet that have been going for the longest time? What has kept them going? And we can look into that and distract ourselves from our own issues. Or we can say, well, what is my pain? What is my illness? What is my situation, and what keeps it going? Am I enjoyed? Then I can enjoy looking at the processes of the planet and say, well, interesting, okay, whatever, not good. What can we do about it? And then we do something about it by being whoever we are. I don't know, But if it comes to us ourselves and healing, there's that. So the planetary star. And then the exploration, the defining of what has the Skywalker in the dog wave spell, and we can go backwards in time and forwards in time. It's the same. You can look at the wave spell of the white dog underneath the blue storm and put it in the future. Because we're going to get there. How is that Skywalker going to define our love? But we don't know the future, do we? Or do we? Where's the blue hand? Are we going to dream it? It's the center of this wave spell. You either dream your past or you dream your future. You decide. You can nightmare your future. You can be worried about it. You're going to get there. In one way or the other, you already are there. You're already experiencing the worry. And for me, I'm timeline splitting. I see the one that has built all that. She cannot continue. I'm not walking on with her. This one, yeah. And how that will manifest, to be this conscious right now of this process, to me is like, my eyes are wide open. Like, I'm in awe. There's a lot of awe here. This white dog wave spell underneath this storm wave spell is really pleasing me. I'm really looking forward to being the crystal dog. Cooperating with my level of love, with myself, with anyone I come in contact with, and explore truth, love. The crystal dog is guided by, who was it? World Bridger? Wind, of course. I'm going to communicate the shit out of this. Woo! Why not? It blows my dress up. It makes me happy. Okay, all right. Are we done yet? Looking at tomorrow, looking at day after tomorrow. Oh, moon. We have a lot of moon coming up. I love that. Yeah, we are done. Order. Do I need to the analog wave spell of the moon flow? Today we are planetary, in that wave spell is the planetary mirror converging with us today. Manifesting order. The star is the manifestation of order, or not. But if there's disorder, note to self, there is some disorder in some places. I'm still working my way towards addressing, or I'm successfully working my way around avoiding it. Oh, Tatiana, just meet it with love. Just meet it with love and compassion. I'm exploring being Tatiana. That's all right. All aspects of it are welcome here. Not. Hello. So, what am I doing? Looking at the time. Yes, all right. I'm going to close this now. Just letting the warrior fearlessness guide this star, the artful living, artfully creating order. Whatever we've manifested, meet it with love. Meet yourself with compassion. Meet your neighbor with compassion. Think compassion all day long. And whenever we come upon some not unkind thought, love it. Caress it. And when you can't, well, accept it. Caress the I can't. I mean, look at nature. There is a dove just flew into a tree here, and I'm wondering how often this dove just hates itself, picks on itself, thinks it's an idiot, wishes it weren't born at all, or hates the tree, or thinks, oh, stupid branch. Like, huh? You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what makes us human. We, if we have, as Darwin claims and says, if we did, we have we share DNA with animals, but I think we share DNA with all of life, everything, right? Somewhere, somehow. But if we had to have evolved from a primate, there is also, how often does whoever we primate evolved from, how often do they hate themselves? How often do they talk shit to themselves? How often do they sit there and resent their brother? How often are they jealous? And the thing is, even if this is where our nervous system seriously needs an update, because in the animal world, in the mammals at least, I don't know about others. Mammals, no, ducks are not mammals. They do it too. So I cannot now say where that starts and where that doesn't. Does a caterpillar do the same thing? Is it blooded animals? I don't know. But a lot of animals with nervous systems, I suppose, when they experience a negative, like a fight, or maybe, who knows if they have a moment of jealousy or anger or envy, if they were to have any such weirdness, let's call it that, they shake it out. They shake immediately. When stress, let's call it stress, we are able to dissect everything. They don't. They live, there's a stress, they shake it out, they move on, or they die. They either move on with some level of health or they die. Oh, I'm smelling my cardamom coffee. Oh, so delicious. Such a delicious scent. And I feel another cup of cardamom coffee calling my name. The future is calling me. Anyway, we, with this nervous system and this frontal cortex, can dissect it all, and we can investigate, and we can plan and hatch, and oh, this person's so bad, and the situation is so bad. And, even me, and I say even me, like as if I'm a better person, like, but these are like, I know better, but I've explored something, but I had to do it in my own shadow, because I couldn't do it in the light of this consciousness. You can't be love and carry resentment. It's not possible. You can't be in this consciousness and nurture resentment. It's not possible. You can't feed both these wolves at the same time. You can one, but it's going to be one. It's not going to be two. I mean, that's the double slit experiment, like teaching us exactly that. And it's like, in my shadow, I've explored that other side. And I know now I'm exploring how that side dies. Consciously, like I'm in that process. This version, not. The other version, yes. And I don't know if you want to hear a podcast from that one. If that one starts to talk to you, you don't want to hear that. It's like, I should do that though. There's shame in between me and her. Not here, not this one. This one is just infinite compassion, yeah. But that one is there is that other, you know. And why do I have all this compassion? Because I have access to that other. I always have had, shadow or not. It's like there's no human thing that is a stranger to me. There's no, like, everything is yeah. There's no aspect of humanity that shocks me. Like, there is an aspect of humanity that I also embody that can be shocked. Make no mistake. But when I'm in this level, like, no. This level says, you know, that is all, that is human. You know, I mean, what can a 3-year-old do that would shock its mother? It's like, what can it possibly do that would shock its mother? There are some things that a 14-year-old can do that would definitely shock its mother. Simply stands for the image. Just shut your mouth. But you know what I mean? In my eyes, we are, I mean, to me, my 14-year-old couldn't do anything that would shock me. It could, like, shock my ego. Yeah. But in itself, it's like, yeah, you're a human being. There isn't anything that a human being could possibly do that you, even though you are my child, would not be capable of. And just because I've given birth to you doesn't mean you couldn't be doing something that could shock my ego, or yeah, would have to be my ego, because it couldn't be me. Okay, anyway, maybe that's ego speak. Off into the day we go. I wish us all a beautiful planetary star, and exploring the harmony and disharmony in our system, and maybe understanding, or maybe don't understand it, maybe just love it. Love. Where what, you know, the medicine is always love. So, like, I want to slap everyone with love. Like, come on, love it already. Heal yourself with love. I mean, it seems so simple. Not. But maybe, I don't know. Somewhere, I don't know. We get to live our lives. That's it. Whatever that means. And sometimes that's just like really hard. Really hard. And sometimes it's really hard to be orderly. It's hard to be truthful. Sometimes it's really hard to be true, because it means somewhere we've learned to be true to ourselves hurts the system, which will in turn hurt ourselves, or it will hurt someone else, and we can't have that happen. Or I mean, there's so many I could go on about. I mean, the shadow aspects of how we get to lose ourselves and disconnect from our truth is the list is endless. But to be human, to fearlessly nonetheless seek the truth, when we're adult, this is development, this is evolution. How do we get to live our truth in harmony with everyone living their truth? That is what humanity is all about. That is what the individuation process is all about. Who am I? Who are you? How do we live together? Why is this planet so big? It's not pea-sized and we all have to get along. No. Be who you are and then gravitate like the animals. Like, you know, the dove doesn't go to the branch that won't support it and say, stupid you, I'm going to break you. I'm going to sit on you and break you. Stupid you, stupid you. It just flies onto a branch that supports it. It doesn't go to the food that would kill it and say, stupid you, I can't eat you, you're stupid, you're not good for me, I hate you, I hate you. It finds the food that nurtures it. You know, it's like, it doesn't sit here boiling in the hot sun and says, oh, you're burning me, you're bad. No, it flies into the shade. And if at any point in time it's in a position where it can't move itself to where its instincts can't take it somewhere where life will be supported, it will die. But it isn't going to go around hurting, hating, and resenting, because it doesn't live. It doesn't. You know, we need to be true to ourselves and find ourselves instinctually, naturally, moving into living in an environment where we belong, where we resonate with the people and the temperatures and the food and the happenings and everything, where we resonate in harmony, where we feel at home, where we feel comfortable, where we belong, where we can be useful, where we are loved, where we can love. Huh? And we found ourselves on planet Earth. And sometimes it's like, what the fuck? I don't belong on planet Earth. Planetary Star. The warrior says, question that. But good for you for questioning whether or not you belong here. And maybe you come to the realization you don't belong here. And then maybe you leave. I don't know. But either way, there we are. Life supports itself and auto-generates itself. And the planetary monkey in the analog sun, not the direct sun wave spell. The direct wave spell of is supporting the auto-generation, catalyzing energy, auto-generating ourselves into eternal life. We're doing it anyway, not in this body, but it could be fun to see. I think it's really fun to say, I'm going to stay fit and healthy in this body for as long as I choose. How do I do that? How do we do that? How do we collectively do that? How to live in this harmony? I have to live in harmony with myself and my environment so that auto-generation works properly. And therein lies my answer, because I'm often not in harmony with what I'm living lately. And yet I stay. And therein lies there's the answer. And that's an arrival for me. And I'm going way over time, according to my own limitations. Drop the fucking limitation. This harmony, seeking harmony. A friend of mine once said, you have to be in resonance with yourself, because how else are you going to be knowing where to go to find your soulmates, because they are in the place where they resonate with you. But if you're not resonating with you, you can't get to the place where they are to resonate with them in the same place, because it's a full-on resonance with everything. It's a resonance with a space. It's a resonance with. And I know what's keeping me. And that's part of the question I have been very, very afraid to answer. So I have had to build a strength somewhere else to get to that place where I dare to ask, and where I dare to take that leap of faith, which once I take it will no longer be a leap of faith, it will just be a very natural consequence. It will just be the next step. At the moment, it looks like a leap of faith. 2 years ago, it was an impossibility. Couldn't even think of it. Couldn't even consider it. Knowing very well I have to consider it, but I couldn't consider it. And that started the ball rolling to realize I have to get to that place where I can consider it, so that then I can consider it, so that I can get to that place where I can start asking the questions that I can not even consider asking. And now I'm getting there. And what seems daunting is becoming less daunting, and it will remove it, it will develop, it will unfold into being the next logical step. Because all I need to take is the next logical step. I don't need to take that daunting step that's coming next year. And as long as I think of it from a perspective of, oh, that's daunting, I keep that horizon away from me. I build up more fear instead of saying, oh yeah, what I have to do in 10 months' time is really daunting. But what do I have to do today? It's just the next step. It's just the next step. Because that what seems daunting is maybe the portal to, it's going to be the next step to where I want to be. And I may find if I'm just taking the next step, I will never get to that portal because that was an illusion. That wasn't the path at all. It was a wrong trajectory altogether. Either the wrong goal on the other side of that as well, or the right goal, but the imagined path there, taking me, needing me to jump down a bungee jump type of thing. It's like, no, that's not the path. You don't have to work your way up to being courageous and bungee jumping. You don't ever need a bungee jump. There's a different trajectory. It's just your imagination thinking that's that. Or by the time I get to the bungee jump, it'll be like, oh my God, yes, that's all I want to do. Yes, easy peasy. Come, doof. Wow. Died. But there's always a world in which we don't die, so what's the worry? I love that. Okay. I don't know if I've made my point. I think I've made my point. Have I made my point to myself? Yes. Don't overthink it now. Let it go. Word bridger. On. In the birthing being, where if spell it's on 6, rhythmic. Gotta let go rhythmically. Here it's on 2 or 8. Of course. Harmonized model integrity. Galactic. Yeah. Galactic human. Cosmic human. I mean, my purpose in life is the cosmic human. No less than that. Right. I wish us all a beautiful day. Harmoniously, disharmonious, disharmoniously, harmonious, harmonious without disharmony. And understand that some crazy shit is part of the art of our life. And when we're too zoomed in, it makes no sense. When we start zooming out, Blue Eagle, it starts to make sense. It all makes sense. That's a given. All right. I want to go on because this is so delicious to be here. I got to practice taking that frequency with me, but not hold on to it fiendishly out of fear of any other state. But that other state is around and it's going to come, and I know it's going to come, but I can't be afraid of it. That just makes it worse. So, okay, that other state is going to come. You're welcome. Not. You have to be welcome. Tatjana. You know better. Okay. Ugh, gorgeousness. There's gorgeousness here. I burned some incense, so there's a lot of still smoke in this room. And the light filtering, the sunlight filtering through the smoke past the window is forming this absolutely straight line of lit up smoke below and not lit up smoke above. It's like cutting the room in half. Amazing. And it's just light and smoke doing that. And my eyes. And if I look directly at that line, oh my God, amazing. All right, anyway, I wish us a beautiful day. Oh.